Hey, yeah, just testing. I've been learning Kotlin and Spring Boot for a while, and I just want to document some of the processes and practices that I've learned. So let's just get right to it. All right, start the Spring.io so that we can have a Kotlin Spring Boot application. And I'll just call it like my name. The application name is gonna be uh, mm, 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 screen time. Yeah, so uh, track daily uses of phone screen, something like that. Yeah, 21. I'm gonna add just web, Spring Web, and for now, I think I'm just gonna go with this much. Yeah, let's generate. I'll put it in, say, KD for Kotlin, and yeah, just go ahead and save it. Okay, so extract all the files right here. There you go, and open up an uh, Intellij. So see, Katie, uh, refresh, screen time, and open up the Gradle file, and go ahead and OK, open as project, trust all, and trust, and boom. Uh, yeah, uh, let me let Intellij load all the Gradle stuff. I don't need that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so basically Gradle is a build tool similar to Maven, my bad, Maven, where you define the dependencies and at what stage do you want the dependencies to run, and also other various properties of your project. So, for example, the most important file would be the build.gradle, where we have all the dependencies are listed over here, and these plugins are I'd say like some of the application, not the application, I'd say language specific code, right? So it's just saying the JVM, the Spring version, Spring Boot version. Those are not really dependencies. Yeah, you can consider them as sort of the parent application that you would use in when using Maven. Yeah, but let's see. It shouldn't take too long to load the Gradle project now. Okay. Yeah, it's done. Just as a quick tip, so if you have some issues over here, one of the best things that you can do is go to the options, file, and project structure. Click on both. Make sure you have the same thing in both the module and the project structure. Project, which is that the SDK. It should have been 20. It's fine even if it is 23. At the end of the day, if this is used to compile it, then when I run it, I need to use the same thing. Just keep those things in mind. Okay, I get right to it. Main Kotlin. Uh, just a simple Spring Boot application. Uh, that's the class and everything else. So according to uh, classic Java, I'm gonna have a model package. So it's gonna be a really simple one. I don't want to take too much of time and going through all the code, because this is just a basic one. I want to do a bit more complex ones in the future. So yeah, let's just go ahead with the Kotlin class. So name would be daily uses, and it's a data class, so that this way we sorry, yeah, this way we specify that it's not like a component, but it's a class that stores data, right? So when we have a data class and we need to use the parentheses just so we have a constructor available. So now we can define the variables or the values. So when we use val, that's a constant, which means once you instantiate it, yeah, you can't change it. So for now, I'll just do var for id, which should be a long, and for now it's just gonna be 0, since we can have actually, you know what, I'll just set it as null. So if you see here, I added this question mark. It just says this value can be null. If you don't have a question mark, then whenever I instantiate an object of this class, it needs to have a value, or else I'm gonna get some sort of error. I don't know which error specifically, but yeah. Okay, so I got the ID. Now here I'll be using val for date. So this date is the specific date of that I'm tracking. So I can have multiple dates, so just the date, right? So I'll put it. Oh yeah, so basically once you have the classifier for what the data, how the data is going to represent itself, then you'll have the variable name, and then you have the data type. So I can say local date, and I think I'll want it to not be null, because whenever I create a new one, I want there to be a date associated with it. So yeah, that's that. And the other thing would be variable of users minutes. So in every day, how many minutes did I use my screen, so my phone uses basically. So it'd be an integer, and I can set it as a nullable value, and it's going to be 0. So yeah, there you go. Now that's my model class. What's going on? Package name should not start with an uppercase letter. Well, I mean, what can I do? That's my app name. Okay, that's fine. So now with classic Java fashion, I'm going to have a repository package, and I'm going to have a new class. It's going to be an interface, so it'll be let me think. I want an interface for the daily users. So we have daily users repository. Yep. And similar to Java, I'm just defining the function without any implementation. So I'll have a save function, and it's going to be users of type daily users, and it should return a daily users. So that's the first function I've got. The second function would be find by ID, and it's going to take in the ID, which was a long that we decided is the ID, and it can return something or it cannot. So that when I add the question mark, it says it can be null. Now the other one would be find by date. Yeah, find by date. So it'd be date, which is, let me think. Do I want a local date time or string? Yeah, I can do that later on. So for now, I'll have these two, and then delete by ID, ID long, and it's gonna return a boolean. I'm thinking how I want to do the find by date. For my simple implementation, I think I can just do find by date, date of type local date, and it should return daily users if we find it. If not, then that's just what it is. Since I'm gonna try to keep it short, I'm gonna have in memory what was it, daily users repository, and this one is gonna implement the interface that we just had. So daily users repository. So I'll need to I'll need to implement the all the functions. There you go. Before we even do that, what I want to start with is the since I'm doing everything in memory, I'm gonna have to hold the variable in memory. So private. I don't want it to change. So val daily uses, and it is a mutable list. So uh, mm, mutable list of this here because it's going to be an empty and we want daily users. So in Kotlin we have mutable list and immutable list, and as the name suggests, the, if you want the list to have to be able to update its values, delete them or add new to them, then you want it to be a mutable list. And since we do have the functions for save and delete, we want it to be a mutable list. If we didn't have that, it would be a better the better option would be to use an immutable list because that way data is preserved. But since it's a simple project, I'm going to go ahead with this one. So for now, let me do find by ID. Okay, so for find by ID, since it is I can try something like daily uses this dot find. So that's how you do all the lambdas ID. Yeah, so it's that simple, right? So here we have the function definition, I have the list or the collection, and I can just do the find function on it, and it returns a nullable value, right? So it returns the first element or null. So that's how I'm handling it. Now the cool thing about Kotlin is I can even have I can remove this one and just have this, and it should still work. Yeah, just that. So just a one-liner function, so easy to do. And let's see, what else do I want? Mm -mm -mm. So this is also going to be daily uses dot remove if. So that's how it's going to be. No, what? I think I want to do remove if in this way. So it dot id equal to id. Yeah. So the same thing as the find by. I think I might have made a mistake over here. Mm -mm -mm. Mm -mm 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 -mm. Mm -mm. No, I think I'm good. Yeah. Okay. And for save, I'm expecting the daily users to not have an ID, so I'm gonna add the ID first. Before that, what I want to do is keep track of the next ID that I have. So private val next ID equal to 1L. Yeah. Okay. So users dot ID equal to next ID plus plus. Then what's going on? Oh, see, so that's what I told you, right? Like it should be a var since it needs to be mutable. And then I want to add that to daily users dot add what was it? Users and return users. Since we updated the ID, we're just going to return the same thing. And let's see, I just have one more, which is find by date. Equal to daily users dot find it dot date equal to date. Okay, that's how the simple thing is done. Yeah. Okay, I'm done with the repository, the model, and since it's going to be a short one, I don't want to have any services right now, so I'll just go straight to the controller. package controller, in classic Spring fashion. Yeah, so new Kotlin class, daily users controller. Yeah, okay, and REST controller. Okay, and now, so the way to do dependency injection is to have it inside the controller itself. So private file. Uh, oh, and I think, did I define it as a repository? No, right? So I need to define it as a repository too. So add repository and private file daily users repository. Type that. Yep. Okay. So with the controller, what I do want to do is have a get mapping, and before that I'll even add a request mapping at the top. Yeah, and import it. Yeah, and slash API slash users. Let me think. I'll just do users. Yeah, and okay, get mapping, and so since I want this to be get by ID, that's how I'm gonna save it. And now function, right? So function should be get users, and it's gonna take the long ID, so ID of type long, and it should return a response body. Yeah, I think, no, response, what was it? Is it response entity? Entity, okay, response entity of daily users. And okay, and that should be pretty much it. So yeah, it would be the daily users repository dot find by ID, which I'm gonna send the ID. Now yeah, I do want to mark this as a path variable. Okay. Okay. Since this needs to be a response entity, I'm gonna have a I don't know what type of function those are called. I'm just gonna add a dot to response entity, so that way yeah, I forgot that's what it's called. It's called a member function. No, I don't want to do that over here. Yeah, just don't do that. Yeah, I want to do that in the controller itself. So so it'd be a private function. It takes t and it returns dot to response entity, and it needs to return a response entity of t. Okay, equal to this dot let. If you have the if the entity is not null, then I'm gonna send a response entity of OK. But if it is null, then that time I want to send not found, so just a 404 build. And let's see what's going on. Oh, my bad, I had a typo. Even then it's not working. Response entity. Okay, the dollar add dot to response entity. Response entity. I don't know. Okay. Anyways, with that, let's add a post mapping for import it. Yeah, and I think don't even need anything. I can do since it was a get, so I'm just going to do add daily users, and I'm going to have a request body. Oh, okay, it just automatically imported it. Now it can be null. That can also be null. Hmm. Oh, oh, let me see. Yeah, I can't do directly a local data from the import, so I need to create a DTO, and I'm just gonna do data class daily uses create DTO, and this one's gonna have a date of type string, which should not be null, and it should be a value, not a var. The other thing would be var users minutes, integer and equal to null. Okay. So now this is gonna take what was the type name? Daily users create this one, and it should return daily users. And so this function takes that. Okay. Uh, 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 uh. Mm, mm, mm. So I'll just like value or var, yeah, value, because I don't want to change it. So yeah, save no, uses DAO equals, since it's a data access object, I mean it's kind of a saving object as well, but at the end of the day, same thing. Equal to daily users, and what I do is date equal to local date dot parse the string, which is users dot date, and comma, what's the other one, users minutes equal to users dot users minutes. Now what I do need to do is return response entity. Since I'm saving and it's a simple one, I'm not thinking about duplicates, so it's always gonna be okay. So it'll be what was it, daily users repository dot save, and it's the users DAO. Yeah, so it's gonna be a response entity. There you go. Okay, and I think for now I'll just let this much sit. Let me see how much time I took till now. I took 23 minutes, so yeah, it looks good enough for my first video. So let's see if the file actually builds, or have I been wasting all my time. Alright, so yeah, let's run it. The build should be successful because there's no compile issues over here that it's trying. So the main thing that I'm worried about is the run. So hopefully, nothing happens over there. All right, we got it to build, and we even got it to run. Nice. Okay. So if for now, I'm gonna try to do it a bit quickly. Not quickly. A bit amateur. Would that be the correct way? Let me view mode, it's float. All right. So yeah, I want to use git bash. I'm going to make the API calls to this application. So, and I'm just uh, taking a taking a terminal window out. Let's see. Okay, so so Windows also does have a curl, but it's not as simple as the Linux one. So I'm just gonna use the git bash one. The port was 8080, so 8080 slash API slash users slash. So I'm getting by ID, but since we don't have anything, it should written a 404 not found, and we don't have anything because of that. So now let's try to send a post message. So create a new one. So header would be content dash type. It is application slash JSON, since that's what I'm intending to send. So then request is a post, since it's not a get. Since it's not a get, so data. So now I can just add the JSON over here. So let's see, what we want is the create DDO. It has date and the user's minutes. So date would be let me add today's date. So 2025-03-18, and comma users minutes is, let's say I use my phone for, I don't know, like 4 hours, so 240, and yeah, it's not a string, it's an integer. I mean, it's a long, not technically an integer. Then I'll add the endpoint. So localhost 8080 slash API slash users. Oh, I did date, my bad. Data, there you go. So now we have it. So if I do the curl, the first request that I did, this one, we have the response now. This is just an amateur way to do it. I wouldn't call it amateur, but like a low overhead way to do it. The better way would probably be to using Postman, but for now, I'll leave it at that. I'll do further more complicated versions and more tools in my future videos. But that's it for now. So yeah.